Hello, ladies. Today we are talking about 5 habits that instantly make you more attractive. If you are new here, of course, this is Get 'em Girl, a girl's guide to relationships, femininity, dating, polarity, and attraction. And I have such a fun video for you ladies today. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and hop into the list. Number 1, and I feel like this is so underrated. If you smell expensive before you even speak, that is something that communicates so much more than you would ever think. And the reason why is because, first of all, when you smell someone that absolutely smells amazing, even if you haven't seen them yet, you feel like you are near someone who takes really good care of themselves. Something about the scent of them lets you know, hey, this is not a person who's just rolling out of bed and walking outside. They have done something for themselves today. And so when someone can smell that you smell amazing before they even see you, it kind of sets this intro for who you are. It kind of tells them that, hey, I'm about to encounter or see someone who actually has put some thought into taking care of themselves today. Right, ladies? And there is something about scent that is so memorable. A lot of times when you talk to people who have like met a celebrity, I've seen so many people talk about meeting like Rihanna and different people like that. They always talk about how amazing that person smelled. They will talk about looks and things, but they will always elaborate that the person smelled so amazing. And it's just something that scent does to our brains. We connect to it, we remember it faster. It just kind of locks into our memory way better than anything else. And so that's why I think people remember scent so well. So when you actually have a warm, amazing, expensive smelling scent to yourself and people can tell before they even see you, it just lays the foundation, okay? And here's the thing. That does not mean that your scent is the loudest. It does not mean that you have the loudest perfume on. Really get into understanding layering, okay? Really get into understanding what different lotions and body washes and perfumes and even body mist kind of work together really well on your body chemistry, okay? Because once you figure that out and you start to layer those scents and you find out how to make them last longer and you find out what goes together really well on your skin, you start to create a signature scent, a scent that is uniquely you, and people will remember you for it, okay? Scent just communicates such a femininity and such a self-care before you even have to say anything. By the way, I finally put together our Amazon storefront. So anytime I'm mentioning beauty, fragrance, self-care products in the videos, it will be organized by category so you don't have to search for it. Ladies, it's going to be linked in the description down below. But please believe that fragrance is one of the most impactful ways that you can increase your attractiveness. Number 2, looking polished instead of worrying about perfection. Ladies, some of the most beautiful women in the world usually aren't looking perfect. They're looking polished. Their clothes fit really well. Their clothes are tailored. Their hair looks intentional, but not overstyled. It looks intentional. Their skin looks cared for. None of these things have to be perfect, but they look polished. Some examples of women who do this really well, if you're talking about a Nia Long, if you're talking about a Sanaya Lathan, even if you're talking about a Eva Mendes, when you think about these ladies, these aren't women who have their hair like super styled, super sleek, extra precise bust down. You're talking about women who wear soft edges. Their hair looks done on purpose, but there's flow to it. It may blow in the wind. There's light to it. There's color in their clothes. They're intentional about their clothing, but everything doesn't have to make them look like they're a figure 8, but it's styled really well. It's very intentional. It's very polished. That's what I mean when I say looking polished over perfection. Because sometimes when we want everything to be too perfect, every waistline has to cinch us. Our hair has to be bust down. The baby hairs have to be just slicked down all the way down, it sometimes get to the point where the look becomes stiff. You don't really have much flow to it. And so instead of worrying about the perfection of everything, look at the polish and the intentionality behind what you're doing. Does it look feminine? Does it look beautiful? Does it look like you were put together on purpose? Okay. And so looking put together signals self-respect. It in turn signals attraction. So we want wrinkle-free clothes. We want clean shoes. We want our skin moisturized down. Ladies of color, we want our skin moisturized down. That is one of our beautiful, beautiful assets. And so let's take care of our skin. Neat hair, not necessarily even to the point where it has to be every hair in place, but hair that looks like it is intentional and on purpose, okay? Groomed nails, all of these tiny details come together. And although they are not perfect, they're all polished and they give this full look, this full, intentional, attractive look that does not give stiff. It does not give overly structured, but it gives sexy. It gives classy, okay? It gives flow. It gives feminine. And so that's what we want to be paying attention to when we are putting our looks together. Number 3, protecting your radiance, okay? Protecting your glow. And so what I mean by this is I want to kind of break it down like this. You see women who go to hair appointments and get their nails done and they buy clothes and different things like that. And although the things are done, although the maintenance is done, there's something about them, their glow, their radiance that may not be in place. And so if you want to make sure that you are looking your most attractive, you have to protect your radiance. And so what I mean by that is actually taking care of the person, which means you need to be getting sleep and rest. You need to be hydrating. Okay, when we talk about like the yellowing of the eyes and, skin, all of these things actually show a lot more of what you are working with foundationally than all the appointments, okay? Making sure that you are wearing your SPF, making sure you're walking in good heart health, getting protein in, getting your good macros and micronutrients in, okay? Stress management, but making sure that you're resting. A healthy woman simply is just going to look different. Okay. And so we want to make sure that we are protecting our radiance because all of those natural, just lifestyle habits, day by day things really determine if once we go to these appointments, we come out with a glow and a radiance, or does it look like we're just trying to put it together even though we're not taking care of ourselves. Okay, so we want to make sure we're protecting our glow, not just doing the external things that may make a look come together as far as nails and hair and clothes. We want to make sure that the foundation is correct, meaning our skin, our eyes are moisturizing, just the way we look, our health. Do we look healthy, right? We want to make sure all of those things are together before we even talk about getting into beauty treatments and all of that stuff. We don't want to neglect the habits that make the glow, basically is what I'm saying. Okay, and so reducing inflammation, making sure that literally your beauty routine does not start at Sephora, but that it starts with the way that you're caring for yourself, the way you wake up and drink water and take your supplements and get your exercise in, all of those things, making sure that you have a glow that even if you didn't go get your hair done today, you still look like a woman who takes good care of herself. Number 4, and I want to elaborate on this. I feel like I touched on it maybe in point 2, but I want to elaborate. I want us to get to the understanding that softness is visual. There are visual cues for what looks feminine, what looks soft, what looks delicate, okay? And so if you want to look more feminine and more attractive, we want to pay attention to how we are adding softness into our looks, okay? So we're talking about playing with fabrics. We're talking about cashmere and silks and satins. Everything don't have to be cotton and 100% breathable. I get it. There is a time and a place. But as a feminine woman, playing around with different fabrics, playing around with fabrics that flow, Playing around with fabrics that have a sheen with different colors and vibrance is going to be beautiful. Getting back to the hair, playing around with hairstyles that, hey, you don't mind if it blows in the wind. Playing around with hairstyles that have a little bit more sheen, a little bit more life to them. Playing around with getting a little bit of color, maybe some highlights, some low lights. Playing around with color that kind of goes really well with your skin. Even getting into colors, right? We love our creamy colors, we love our nudes and all of that. But ladies, there are colors that when you put it up against your skin, it just pops, okay? And I don't want us to drown that out because everything is so nude now. Let's play with vibrance. Let's play with colors that complement our skin really well. I see women and they go get their color, like it's consultations for colors that like look really good against their skin. And I'm telling you, it's night and day when you see a color that actually complements. It brings out such a vibrance, such a radiance to a woman when she finds her color. So please, let's play around with that vibrance again. Even when we're talking about jewelry, I think you can go either way. You can go very dainty and delicate with your jewelry, or you can be a little bit more bulky and a little bit more heavy with it as long as you know how to carry it well. But getting into accessorizing, dangly earrings and bracelets, maybe even some hoops, just some different things to accessorize the look and bring movement to your outfits and bring movement to the look that you are presenting, okay? I love a stud. I do. I love a pearl. I do. But something about a dangly earring, you just can't get away from the femininity of dangly earrings. I'm sorry. It's just a thing that I personally absolutely love to see women in. And I think it is like one of the most feminine accessories that you can add to a look. So playing around with these different things so that they bring movement, okay? So that they bring color and vibrance and just a little bit more excitement to our visual look really does bring out that femininity. It brings out that softness in our day-to-day looks, ladies. So I think we should play around a little bit more with the color and stuff. I love the nudes. I love nude. Don't get me wrong. I love a nude. I love a set. I love some athleisure. I get it. But getting back to playing around with clothes and having fun in our closets and having different color shoes. Everything don't have to be black or nude. Having different color shoes that match, that can match different outfits, and just playing around with style again really does bring that visual softness, which is something I think we should get back to. And finally, ladies, once you have done all the things, the hair is looking good, you're taking care of your skin, you're taking care of your health, the outfits have flow, you have accessorized, you've done all the things. Consider your pace. Move like a woman who is not rushing. Because sometimes we do all of this and it looks put together and we're looking in the mirror and it's right. And then we get to moving fast not because we are in a rush to get anywhere, but sometimes as women in this busy world, we get to moving fast because we're so used to being productive, okay? But that fast movement, sometimes it communicates stress to the body, but it also communicates stress outwardly. And if you're talking about being more attractive, you have to allow yourself to just kind of be in the moments and moving slower and more intentional. And that really does come off more confident and attractive, okay? Being able to walk with purpose, but with pace, okay? With a good pace. You're not in a rush. You're not scared to be seen. You're not trying to hurry up and get out of someone's sight line, okay? But allowing yourself to be seen, allowing yourself to kind of move at your own pace, not being afraid, okay, for someone to look up and see you and you try to rush away. Like, let's get okay with eyes being on us. It's okay, right, ladies? Being able to put your phone down while you're talking, not being afraid to make eye contact. All of these things actually add to attractiveness, because it's not just a woman who has went and put on all the nice things, but it's a woman whose inner confidence and inner attractiveness now shows, because it shows in the way that she moves, okay? And so one of the biggest things that you can do to be attractive is to make sure that you are mindful of how you move. Are you graceful? Is your presence graceful when you're walking? Does it appear graceful? How do you present once you have done all the other things? Right, ladies? So psychologically, let's just kind of slow and control movements. Let's signal some confidence. Let's signal that we're okay in our body. Let's signal that we're okay with the choices that we made and the clothes that we put on our body today. Let's keep our composure, okay? And that naturally makes people pay more attention to you because it is attractive. Okay, ladies, so I hope that this list was helpful and really made you want to tap into working on your attractiveness and the things that make you feel gorgeous and feminine. Of course, if you want any help with that, we got some great recommendations in our storefront. Of course, I'm linking it in the description down below. And I'm not leaving you, ladies, without giving you your scripture of the day. We are going to be in Psalms chapter 139, verse 14. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. Okay, ladies, I want to thank y'all again for tuning into another episode of Get 'em Girl. Thanks for all the support on the channel, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.